Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Dose. Jereme Kleven here, alongside the Magic Man and the Beast behind the glass. Gentlemen, the respectable Mark Hutchins and Byron Filson. Oh, the men that need no introduction.
No, I don't.
You know,
I just don't.
Alongside another fellow that does not need an introduction, Mr. Ryan Hodge.
So good to be here again, gents.
Round 3.
Boom.
Joining us all week in the studio, making fire in the dose, on the dose.
I love this place. I love Arizona. I love it. Love it.
Yeah. It's time to branch out.
we got a little bit of distance to cover.
Yeah, right? How long does it take to get here, by the way?
It's a 4-hour flight.
Ontario, right?
Yeah, 4-hour flight. So I fly out of Toronto. My hometown's about an hour and a half west of Toronto. So it was a good day of travel coming out here. And you know, the red eye leaves tonight, so it'll be a long day tomorrow.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well worth it, though. Well worth it.
Well, we're happy to have you here. So happy to, again, twice to have you back. So
Amazing.
How's that JW Marriott treating you guys?
Well, it's a big hotel.
yes, it is.
I got lost in it a couple times, but you know what? It's amazing. You know, the state, the hotel. We were out in Sedona.
Yeah,
I just love this place. I'm bringing the family shortly.
All right, awesome.
It's phenomenal.
Good. It'll be a good trip.
Yeah,
we'll have to link up and get you back in the studio here when you're here. You know,
well,
get a little work done while you're at it. You know?
For sure.
Indeed. To write that trip off.
Well, let's dive in. Let's dive into today.
So we were talking offline a little bit of, you know, last couple of days you've been hitting it hard, delivered the other day, you know, really hard at the Be Relevant event on ways that agents right now, you know, this very minute can start getting a further reach, enrolling people, delivering content, creating content, and then delivering content and doing more business through Facebook. What are some other ways that you are going on the offensive, prospecting, generating business right now?
Well, you know, we talked a little about finding the low-hanging fruit, and you know, it's a fact. 99% of the consumers are online, so it's crucial that we are, you know, conducting ourselves if we want to go high production to the online consumer, and not just in the social space, but you know, I've been very big and fortunate in my career to do well by online lead generation, whether that's free leads or paid leads. And, you know, I made a couple live calls when we spoke at your event the other day. And, you know, that's where people engage, but they're a little bit fearful of making those calls. So I've really try and focus on, you know, number one, it's important to find the leads, but it's also important to learn the proper dialogue, scripts, and conversion, not necessarily being robotic about it, but by mastering them, internalizing them so that you have a higher conversion rate, because they're not easy leads to convert. These are high quantity, low quality leads, but there's a huge opportunity there.
So it starts with the phones for you?
100%. You know, those leads come in. I want to make sure that I am calling within 5 minutes. I've got the right systems and strategy for follow-up, that if I can't make the call, you know, one of my team members is going to make the call. If they can't follow up, it's going to get redirected to the next team member, because that conversion happens within the first hour. It starts to tail off afterwards. And then after that, you want to make sure that you have the right follow-up systems in place as well.
What phone system are you using for that?
Typically, we've used a program called Mojo.
Okay.
Mojo Dialer is one that works quite well for us. But I find that, you know, you can do it without a dialing system as well for the online leads. You just want to make sure that you've got the right back end to whatever system you're using for the follow-up reminders.
Yeah.
Are you texting at all?
I do.
For follow-up?
I do text, but I usually text once I've had an initial engagement. I want to get them. You know, I was fortunate. I did some coaching when I first got in the business with a Canadian guy, but he was inside sales for, you know, people like Craig Proctor and you know, some of the large speakers that have done well over the years. His name's Andy Harrington out of Toronto area. And he wrote a book called Powerhouse Dialing. So, you know, I've always just used a couple simple scripts. The outbound internet script, which basically says, "Hi, it's Ryan. I saw that you registered on Phoenix, Ontario Homes for Sale. I sent you some information. Is that okay?" And I say it that quickly. And I just want them to say, yes, it was okay. Because then it's going to lead me into just a few simple questions. Are you looking to make a move in the next 3 to 6 months? And getting the ball rolling until I'm trying to find where the pain has appeared for them as far as searching for a house. And whether it's, realtor.com or realtor.ca, just like any other realtor in the industry, has a means to send them listings that match exactly what they're looking for. And the nice thing about my search is that it also comes with power of sales, estate sales, and other great deals. Is that something of interest? Everybody says yes, and then it's just directing to the appointment. But that initial call is crucial because we want to try and blow them off their chairs and know that we are quick to the follow-up. Otherwise, they're on the 40,000 other agents' websites that are out there as well.
Many. Yeah.
At least here locally, right?
Yes, yes.
Well, it's good because you're asking questions. It's the same thing for engagement and to keep people on the phone, or at least get them to know that you're coming from a space is by asking the question. I love posing questions as opposed to, if you listen to, a lot of people get scared. I guess that's the biggest thing is that fear of that phone call because it's just fear of no or someone being pissed off. But if you ask a bunch of questions, there's a lot less no's, which is ironic just because you're asking them questions that you already know they're going to say yes to, because if they're registering online, 9 times out of 10, they're looking for a home, right?
Well, that's the thing. And it's just a matter of, there's two things. My business partner always said to me when I started, and he's got a lot more experience than I did, the person that hears no the most wins a day.
Yeah. More no's leads to yes.
It's a contact sport, right? Yeah. So always answering a question with a question. And it's just about mastering those internal dialogues, making them simple, not salesy. And so many people are scared of scripts. But an actor would not go on stage unrehearsed.
No.
So why should we, when we're dealing with consumers, have potential for big paychecks?
Well, they think script, they think fake. It's not fake. It's just like you said, it's rehearsed. If I'm going to have you on the phone and make the best use of my time while I've got something on the phone, I want to say the right stuff.
Absolutely. So, about being professional.
Smart and professional, correct. I love it.
And then internalize it, of course. Like you said, it becomes second nature, and
Sure.
you lead people down that path.
It's not like you're reading, hi, my name is Mark Hutchins, and I am a real estate agent. And I want to, it's not like you're reading like a robot. And I think that's where people kind of get caught up. Well, I don't use scripts. Well, we all have scripts.
Right.
We just are, they're here inside of us.
So the online lead gen space, what are you using to drum up those online leads?
I use a company out of my marketplace actually, who promotes his product all over the world. He was a high producer back in his day. It's a company called Selling Tools, TOOLZ.
Which is Z.
Z. Sorry.
T-O-O.
Zed's dead, baby. Selling Tools. TOOLZ.
Zed's dead.
And it's a simple online lead program. It's low cost, using Google AdWords or Facebook ads to generate a pile of leads. And I think that is ultimately where a lot of agents are really finding a challenge because, in any room that I speak in, I can ask, is anybody getting more than 50 leads per month? And most of them say no. We saw that the other day. But when we determine that there's, on average a 2% conversion rate, they're not using the right scripts and dialogues more often than not. And they're not getting enough leads more often than not. So when you ask if they're doing online lead generation, usually they're not doing it the right way.
Absolutely. Or not even doing it.
Or not doing it at all. And that's the bread and butter. I mean, you can literally track leads for a couple dollars per lead. And if you're getting enough with the right system, strategy, and follow-up plans, you are going to do business.
So let's talk about that system, strategy, and follow-up plan because, okay, an agent goes out and maybe even does a Facebook post or a sponsored post, or they do get into a lead gen platform, or they find themselves an inexpensive IDX that's going to start generating leads. A few of those that are in our marketplace that are, while they're inexpensive, they don't at this point have back-end CRMs and things that can keep people on task. So how do agents out there stay on task and make sure that their follow-up is not just organized, systematic, but relentless?
Sure. Well, I mean, the system that I use does have a back end. They're continuing to improve the follow-up. I also work with John. He's got some great stuff in there for the system that I use on the company side. And when you look at how people are following up, they could make it as simple as Excel if they didn't have anything. Just use something. To me, it's not always about what CRM it is or what system it is. Yep. It's about the contact types and plans that they apply to make it successful for them. And they're not getting the training in most cases. And I know you guys are really big on that. Same thing at my company. We're training on how to create the strategy, not just the theory of what's behind it, but a step-by-step process that they can put something in place that's going to give them the reminders for the follow-up, which means success.
I love that you said that because we preach that all the time too. We know agents doing 20, 30 million and they're working from Excel as their CRM.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter what you have, just something that's going to keep you organized and on tasks. Color code it, make notes in there, whatever you want to do.
Sure.
Make it your own, but just make sure you're driving it, right?
100%. Just even if you're making a list on a regular basis,
Right.
just take action, get somewhat organized, start creating non-negotiables for your lead gen, your database, social media, and all of a sudden you've got systems. Systems are a big scary word in real estate, but what it's going to do is create, a pipeline of effectiveness as well.
Well, even if you have to just do a simple checklist on a piece of paper, man.
Exactly.
That's how back in 2001 when I first got started, that's what it was. I turned in my yellow pad, who I talked to, what I was doing, et cetera, and I marked off every item that was done. So if it means it's a matter of budget, not spending the money, you just go on the computer, create an Excel spreadsheet checklist, which is simple to do, or a Word doc checklist, and make that your weekly checklist, and just print off a new one every week if that's what keeps you on pace. In all honesty, that's all we're doing, right? Systems are just checklists.
Yes, and that's the number one trait for highly productive people. They are list makers.
Yes. Because
they're prioritizing. That's all a list is. It's just prioritizing so that we do the right things at the right times.
And find out the way that works for you. Like for me personally, I'm a freak with my calendar and reminder invites. Everything is on there.
All that is a running checklist.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah. For those out there with Gmail, syncing it up to the count, it's
always in your face because we always have it. It's in our palm all the time. So
you don't let anything fall through the cracks, and that's what it's about.
Yep.
It's about, and I'm sure that's how you service your agents.
Yeah.
So well because you're organized.
Yep. Try to be.
Try to be.
It's never perfect.
Tomorrow tries to sidetrack me.
Yeah, right. Well, hey, man, I want to thank you for taking 3 days, well, more than 3 days, your whole week, basically, to be here and give us this amazing...
He's been living it up at the JW. He's got mad
at it. Yeah. But thank you very much. Honor to have you on the show. Honor for you to do the event for us. Can't wait till we do the next one. And, of course, when you're back with the fam, come say hey and come in for... round 3.
At that point, yeah.
Honored, guys. Yeah. I love it. I love my home group. I love everything you're doing. And I'm so privileged to have been here and spent some time with you.
Love it, man.
Awesome. Means a lot.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Thank you, sir, indeed. Appreciate it.
Everyone, have a great day. See you tomorrow.
See ya. Bye, Byron.
Bye.